scared in the dream do something, or if it was a nightmare, or anything.
I had a few dreams about Castiel over the years.
Did you dream about Sam Winchester? So
Yes, no, I had many dreams about Sam Winchester.
Tell me more.
Well, in my culture,
See?
they call them wet dreams.
What was Sam Winchester in your dreams? What was his influence? It's been years. Ladies and gentlemen, Misha Collins. I love the music in that one. Hi guys, sorry to interrupt the question. God, I wish you... Misha, you didn't answer the question. I interrupted like a jackass. Sorry. Mega Spiaggi. Che cazzo fai? Hi. You can ask me Misha's question. I will answer it for you.
Dreams about Castiel. Do you dream about Castiel?
Did I dream about Castiel?
Yes.
Did I ever? Luckily, I could wake up and see him, so it was
Wait, what?
well, hello there. I don't know, where did he end, left or right? He ended left, so I'll be right back, but I'm going to start right, left for you. This way.
I'm Jared.
Hi.
First, I haven't heard anybody ask about Walker yet, so I have a question about Walker.
All right. I'm still walking. Yes.
Have some apple juice.
So on the show, when I started watching it, I just fell in love with the music on it. Whoever picks the music for that show, kudos. Kudos to that one.
Thank you. Yeah. Not me, but
Well,
thank you on their behalf.
and I have to say, the way I used to watch the old Walker, Texas Ranger, I prefer Walker.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a weird. Thank you. It was an interesting kind of transition from Sam to Walker. I had many months during the pandemic because when Jensen and I were sent home from Vancouver for the pandemic, I already knew basically the entire last episode and a half, which we had left to film, of Supernatural. And so I was able to work for like 5 months trying to figure out this character. And I think we had some questions earlier. I know I've had some in other cities. A lot of what I do on Walker, I wouldn't have been comfortable doing before working with Jensen. Like seeing him kind of have fun with scenes and kind of make it his own. I really kind of took notes, I guess, subconsciously. And now I'm just having a good time. I hope I get to keep doing it.
And I also love the chemistry between Walker and Cassie.
Yeah, she's right.
There.
Thank you so much.
I'm wondering if there is any difference between how you get into the role of Walker and how you used to get into the role of Sam.
Great question. Logistically, no. I have an idea of who Cordell Walker is, and so I had a pretty decent idea of who Sam is, and I feel like in a couple of days' time, I could easily get back into Sam. I could do Sam right now, but I would need there's me right here. I'm pointing at the camera, but I see my face. I look like I flew on. I feel I need longer hair, but my method is kind of the same. I kind of, it's remained the same since I was Dean, OG Dean. Original gangster Dean on Criminals. But I just kind of read it and let it swim around, and then I get to set and throw it all away and see what works. So in general, I'll kind of like read a script many times in a row, and then on the day I'm filming those scenes, I'll just work on those scenes, and then I'll get to set and we'll block, and we'll always find out. You know, if I was to say like, hey, we're gonna shoot a scene where we're walking down the street, and in your head you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna grab a piece of pizza, I'm gonna do that, and then you get to the location where you're actually filming, and there's no pizza, and you're not really walking that far, you just kind of bob and weave. And so there have been so many times on Walker, like I feel like if you were to have the script for any episode of Walker and then watch the episode, you'd be like, I don't see any of these words, you know, like, I don't see these lines. We just kind of bob and weave and flow. So that's been really nice to do. But otherwise it's pretty similar.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So I wanted to ask, so when Dean died, he got to have a goodbye speech.
Oh, we're going there. Great.
So I wanted to know, if Sam died, what would his goodbye speech be?
Fuck you. That's so funny. No, just teasing. I think Sam's speech to Dean would have been a combination of, was it Bloodlust? Was it, which was the episode where they're locked in the hotel room and Gordon is after them? Bloodlust. And they're putting the mattresses, and he's like, oh, you're my brother, you know, like that whole bit. Fresh Blood. Would have been a combination of what he said to Dean in Fresh Blood, what he said to Dean in Sacrifice, and what he said to Dean in, I forget the name of the episode, but it was the hardest scene for me ever to shoot. I couldn't remember. There was a scene outside the Prophet and Lost, yes. The scene at the end of Prophet and Lost. Kind of a combination of those three. But I think Sam also would have said to Dean, even if Sam was the one who was bleeding out or gonna bleed out and die, I think he would have said, it's okay, you can go. You know, I think Sam knew and might know again that Dean wouldn't have lived a long life without Sam, in my opinion. I think Dean was around keeping his brother safe. And Sam knew, I think Dean knew that Dean wanted to be there for Sam, and he also knew that Sam had something else other than hunting that he was destined to do. So I think if Sam had to say, I'm gone, man, because honestly, God, when Jimmy Carver and Bob Singer and Jensen Ackles and I sat down together before season 15 and talked about the finale, in my head, Sam was going to be the one to die. Because that's its own tragedy, where Dean brought his brother back to hunt and be part of the life, and then I thought it'd be so interesting to see Dean have to cope with the idea that Sam died because Dean brought him back into the life. You want to see that? I want to see that. Maybe we will. But I think Sam would have tried to make sure, like, hey, dude, I know you've been here for me, sacrificed a lot for me. When you need to go, just go. I'll be waiting for you. Yeah, thank you.
so well.
Looking well right now?
Well, no,
Have you not seen the...
I mean, it's been a while now. I was thinking of the car
Oh,
accident.
yes. Car accident and all that shit.
Yeah. Just a quick one. Nothing about Sam. Really enjoying Walker and Windy. Windy was one of the surprise. Loving that too.
Makes me cry.
I just wonder if there's any plans to make it available on TV outside the United States.
The short answer is hell yes. The shorter answer is I have 0 votes in that. So, executive producer or not, like I would love for it to be available everywhere. I think Windy is such a beautiful show, and I'm obviously so proud of Walker, and I've done so much work on it. So I would love for everybody. So I tried last night when I got home from dinner. My body was at like 2 p.m. Texas time or something, and so I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and rewatch because I watched Walker and Windy in a fucking airport lounge in Atlanta, and so I was like, let me just go ahead and double check and see the episode again. And I already seen it, but it wouldn't let me watch it because I'm gonna. This is not available in your area. I'm a fucking producer. If I knew who to call, I'd call them.
Who'd you write to?
I wish I knew. I'd write a long letter. It'd be very obnoxious.
Really enjoying them then.
Thank you.
Somehow, yeah.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
I was just wondering, in following the 15 seasons as much as possible, if and trying to separate yourself from the character if possible, that if Sam and Dean were to go completely solo hunting during the course of Supernatural, who do you think would make it closest to season 15?
That's a great question. Well, Sam, Dean was more run and gun style. Sam was more, let me try and research and figure out the best way to approach this style. And Sam had to, be possessed by Meg, be possessed by Lucifer, by Gadriel, Ezekiel. And Dean got killed by rebar that didn't move.
My question is about Walker.
Okay.
Walker has a lot of sad and emotional scenes, so I was wondering what was the hardest one to shoot for you?
I wish, for those who have seen Walker, I think it was season 1, episode 9, the flashback of Captain James pulling the sheet off of dead Emily, Jen. And Steve Robin, who directed it, he wouldn't let me see Jen once her death makeup was done. And so he made the whole crew get quiet, and we had like a minimal skeleton crew, we call it. And so the first time I saw Jen was that first take, and like Kobe broke down in tears, Odette Animal broke down in tears, I was a wreck. That was hard, that sucked. That was tough. Yeah, that for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This is a really random, stupid question.
I love it.
I'm a big wrestling fan, professional wrestling fan, so I wondered if you were a professional wrestler, what would your ring name be, and what song would you... wrestler called Moose, so I think I'll take him.
Fuck him.
Could you beat him in a fight? He's pretty big.
Did you not just hear? I beat Lucifer. And God. I beat we have some Polish friends in here. What's Polish moose?
Wash, wash.
Wash? Can it sound cooler? Like killer wash or something? Killer wash. How do you say killer in Polish?
Wash na wójta.
Wash na wójta. Oh, come on, that's badass.
The second part of the question was, what would your entrance song be? What song would you come out to hear what?
That's good. Not Wash na wójta, because if that song exists, it shouldn't. There's a great song. So before I tore my knee up, I was kind of getting back into doing bag work and stuff, like heavy bag. And there's a song from the Deadpool. I've never seen Deadpool. I know. I hear it's amazing. I gotta watch it. I know. Kmart, chill out. I've never seen it. I'm going to watch it. I don't have a whole lot of time in my hands, but I'm going to watch it. But there's a song. What's the song called? There's a song in Deadpool, the soundtrack. I don't know if it's one or two. Called
Angel of the Morning?
No. It's like dun 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 dun. It's not a party. It's a party. What's it called?
No. The only thing I can think of is DMX.
No. There's a song on the Deadpool soundtrack, and it starts out. It's pretty. Like I use it when I'm trying to work out these days, which I can't really do that many. But
Sing it.
does somebody? I don't know what the lyrics are. I just know the bass line is like it starts out. Dum 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 dum. Come on, guys! Don't boo me for not watching Deadpool if you don't know the name of the song. Did somebody know it?
Okay.
Welcome to the party. Yes.
Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. Yeah. Yes. It's yeah. I think I hope that's right. I think it sounds right. Yeah. Welcome to the party.
Thank you very much, love you.
Love you back. Thank you very much. Hello.
Firstly, thank you for what first. I also have a dumb question. So we know Barina and Sam had chemistry, and when you found out Sam was going to kill Barina, were you hoping it'd be the same way you killed Madison and Jess and everyone else?
Wow. Will you grab the knife out of my bag?
I mean, what a way to go, though.
That was a really, so I think anybody in here who has had the pleasure of meeting Ruthie loves her. I certainly love and adore her, and both as a human being and as a fellow actor. And so when I read that script, that was a tough one also. And we were in that time of the series where we were kind of like killing people off and then saying goodbye to them, and it all sucked. I was really, it felt appropriately intimate, if that makes any sense. So I think that was the right way to do it, because it felt like a connection. Yeah, I think I wouldn't have written it any other way.
Yeah, it's a beautiful scene.
Thank you so much. I'll pass it on to Ruthie. Thank you.
Hi, Jared. Just a random question. As a tallish guy.
Tallish?
Yeah, tall.
Tall.
Oh, tallish. And me, yeah. Accents. I didn't know. No, I got it. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, what do you mean ish? Come on, man. Give me some credit.
Okay, so out of Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, which one of the dwarfs would you be? And which Sam would be?
I'd be dopey, Sam would be grumpy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's an awesome question. Hi there.
Hi, Jared. I have an early season Sam question, if that's okay.
Fine.
In season 3's Bad Day at Black Rock.
Yeah.
You know, where you fell down.
Rabbit's foot.
Yeah, the rabbit's foot thing. Yeah, that's one of my daughter's favourite episodes. She watches it with me now. She's 17 now.
She likes seeing me in pain. Yeah.
Yeah, she was 7 at the time, and she said, "Let's watch the one where Sam falls down." And she wanted to know, did you really hurt your knees when you fell? Because it was so real looking, and she's always wondered that.
Oh, really?
I thought I'd ask that, so thanks.
That's awesome. Well, that actually makes me feel really good. Because, well, the short answer is no, I don't have my knees. The long answer is if we come out of, was it Bigger Sins at the time?
Yes.
Yeah. So when we came out of Bigger Sins.
You were chasing Bella.
Yeah, and we're running. So there was a stunt pad, which are pads probably about like 12 to 18 inches. Like, you know, people jump out of buildings or something and fall on them. And so it was out of camera, and the camera was here so I could fall. But it was basically, if you watch the shot, you can tell where it is, because it's this wide.
Yeah.
And probably from me to the front row. And so they laid it there. And so if the camera's here, we're running out, we're doing this, and then I pretend to fall, I fell onto like a double mattress, like a giant.
But it was so funny, you just disappeared from the screen.
Yeah.
It was just so well done. And she's always loved that, and so have I. So.
Yeah, I'm an overactor.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks.
Made a career out of it.
Thanks so much.
And thanks to your daughter. Hi there.
I have a super question as well. So we never get to find out why gypsy is such an important word to Sam and Dean. Did you guys know that? Did you make anything up in your heads? Did you kind of make a backstory for that?
That was, great question. That was courtesy of Bob Singer. I think Poughkeepsie is somewhere in New York. Yes, I knew that. So it originally came from Bob Singer, and then the second time where I say Poughkeepsie to Dean, it's not in the script, but I thought it would be a cool thing to add. I think the nerd in Jared was like, this is the perfect time to like close the loop. And a lot of the stuff I do now on Walker and Lindy as a producer, but also even during Supernatural, some of the things I like doing, like I think Jensen and I have talked about some of the throwbacks to in the barn scene that we all know about, but the bits where, I can't do this alone, yes you can, well I don't want to, that's not scripted, that was just something I wanted. I was like, this is a great way to close the circle. Hey Sam, Dean, which is the first words we ever see them say to each other, was just something I wanted to kind of close that loop. Just storytelling, like I don't love acting, I love storytelling, I love stories. And so I think as somebody who enjoys stories, that just seemed like pieces of the puzzle, but it's like that final feeling. Have you all made puzzles before? I'm sure we all have. You know, when it's mostly built, and then you're putting in the final pieces, and you're like, oh, that's where it goes, and you turn it around. Like I love that feeling. I was always a kid, and my middle child, my younger son Shep, he's very similar with like Legos or with puzzles. And I was the same way as a kid. He'll spend days or weeks building this puzzle or Legos or whatever, and then once it's done, he wants us to see it, and then he wants to break it down. And you're like, dude, you spend so much time. Like you've been here every day after school, on the weekends. But that was me. It was kind of like, okay, I want to figure this puzzle piece out, and cool. All right, let me make something else. And so Poughkeepsie, the second time it came around, was just something that kind of occurred to me when I was reading it. But the first time was courtesy of Bob Singer, our New York born and bred executive producer, director.
Cool, that's really great.
Yeah, thank you.
My question is, so Jensen is in The Boys now. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is coming too. So if you were to be in that show, would you be part of The Boys or The Seven? And would you kick Soldier's ass, or would you help him? And Soldier Boy, not Jensen.
No, I understand. I don't know if I would want to fight Soldier Boy. He was mean. But I don't want to get thrown onto a table like a butcher. Cricky and I have talked a little bit about how I could do it. Right now it's not practical logistically, you know. I'd love to be on it. I'd have to call my mom and say, don't watch.
Jensen did that.
He did, yeah. He gave me all the notes, like, hey, if you ever do it, just call your friends, call your wife, call your mom, say, don't watch. But I'd love to do it. I think it would be fun to link up with Soldier Boy and kind of solve something together. So I think I'd have to be one of the soups. You know?
Hi.
Hi.
In your opinion, who wears the Gucci jacket best?
Last man standing.
Well, seeing as I'm the only one here, I'd say it's me. I think I'm 4 years old. I don't believe I've ever owned a Gucci jacket. I don't know, it took me so long. Thank you.
Hi, Jared.
Hey.
I'm going to take you to the beginning of this season of Walker,
Okay.
where you're in the cage and you're being
Yeah,
tortured.
the good old Jared Padalecki in a cage.
And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And I'm curious, how hard was it for you not to draw from Sam? Because when I watched that, it was very hard for me. And I did not see Sam. So I'm just curious, was it tough for you?
Amazing, thank you. I mean, the thought absolutely crossed my mind. In a weird way, and I'm sorry to keep using bad language, but I feel like Cordell Walker almost has a bit more of a fuck you attitude than Sam. Like, Walker has a bit of Dean in him, of like, bring it. Whereas Sam was very much almost academic with like, here's where I am, here's what I have to
He's
do.
defiant, I think.
Cordell,
Sam is defiant.
yeah, Sam's defiant, but Sam is thinking all along, like, what's the intelligent way out of here? Cordell has a bit more of like, well, I guess this is it. But obviously when they bring Liam into the cage, very similar to Dean and Sam in the cage. On a personal note, that cage was real. Like, that was real metal. Often when you see cages, it's a lot of like styrofoam, like firm styrofoam that's been painted and speckled. Speckled. I'll go with speckled. To look like it's old corrugated iron or something. This was just iron and concrete, and it sucked. And since I was wearing shorts and like a skinny black t-shirt, I couldn't wear pads, and so it sucked. And that's when I also tore my Achilles, or not Achilles, my ACL. Yeah, but it's what it is.
You did an amazing job, and thank you for everything you do.
Thank you, Beth.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I wanted to let you know that I was the handler for Chuck Norris a couple of years ago. And I told him how well Walker was doing, and he just wanted to pass along that he was so proud. I was invited to go be a part of a con in the States that he was doing, and I'm out of town for a wedding or something, but I can't, I've actually still never met him.
we've talked through this person and that person, but it's fun to follow in footsteps, but also pave your own way, if it makes any sense. So it means a lot. Cool. I hope it was nice. I'm sure it was. I bet. Awesome. I still wouldn't mess with it. But thank you.
Since we all agree the supernatural movie will happen eventually.
Oh, we do agree with that?
We do.
News to me.
What kind of plot lines would you like to see happen?
What's it? Sam fries Dean? Oh, Sam drives the Impala. There's a lot in my head, and there's a lot. I want to get. I'm sure I'm on record. Well, on record. That sounds so important. I think I've expressed how much I would love to do that sometime. I will say this as a. I don't want to say, but. I just did 3 buts in a row. But I feel so protected. And I feel so protective of what Jensen and I did with that supernatural storyline, those characters, that I feel like he and I would need to have the heaviest hands in the storylines. And so we never did. We were never producers, much less executive producers on Supernatural. We behaved very much like producers, or even executive producers. I was going to say the B word. However, on the other hand, I really feel like I have some strong thoughts on the best way to do it, and he and I have talked and shared ideas. I mean, I don't feel like the Supernatural. I wouldn't want it to be a movie. I would want it to be like a 6 to 8 episode, maybe hour and a half reboot. I don't think it would be complete without Castiel. I don't think it would be complete without Jack. I don't think it would be complete without so many of the beloved characters we've had, especially towards the end there, where the storyline makes the most sense to kind of not jump back in, but jump back in. I hope we get to explore that.
Me too.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Love you back.
Hi.
Mean that original first.
OG. Yeah.
First, thank you for giving Walker such a depth and humanity, because it's really great.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask, since you have kids usually watch a lot of movies and cartoons all over.
I'm so sorry.
They watch cartoons and movies.
Yes,
right?
yours or mine?
And you've been stuck in there watching them again. Because I was wondering if, as for myself, I got some lessons from, The Lion King, Balco, and I was wondering if you can think of something that was a strong message for yourself.
From The Lion King?
From whatever movie is important for you.
Yeah, what's funny is that I heard Lion King, and I wrote my senior graduation English paper on The Lion King, working in Joseph Campbell's, heroes, myths, and legends, and all the archetypes, and then got to kind of portray a lot of those with Supernatural, and I never thought of this. So my senior, advanced English placement paper was comparing The Lion King and The Natural, with Robert Redford and talking about the different use of archetypes and two different kind of genres, because one was with animation and one was live action, and they were a couple decades apart, or a decade plus. And so I think I really love the classic archetypes and stories, the classic tropes, and different takes on them. And so I find myself drawn to stories that have kind of an inherent juxtaposition, and that's maybe a weird word in Italian. I feel like, the friendly beast, the Chewbacca that's scary, or, the Timon and Pumbaa that are strange and Pumbaa farts. But the friendly Jared right now.
I'm thinking about a friend of mine called Jared, the tiny Jared.
The tiny Jared?
Yeah. Let's not go there.
Yeah, I think I learned from some of those movies and some of the kids' movies. I think kids' movies are very simplistic at their core because they deal with things, and I imagine that people who create and produce kids' movies, kids' TV shows, they understand that certain storylines work. The bully who ends up being a nice guy, the nerd who ends up being the hero, et cetera, et cetera. And so I think humans are all drawn to those tropes. So yeah, I've learned a lot, but now I've got to go back and watch and make some notes. Thank you very much. You bet.
So I've asked this question last August to Jensen.
I wasn't here in August.
Yes, I know, and I asked him to answer on your behalf.
Oh, great.
And he did. But he also said you might have a very long, insightful answer to that question, so here it goes. What aspect of Sam and Dean's personality was hardest to act? Well, for you it's Sam's personality, obviously.
Yeah, I got it. Man, he really built me up. I'm going to fail. What was the hardest aspect of Sam for me to portray? Gosh, a lot of Sam came pretty naturally to me. And I think that's a credit to our writers. They kind of get to know who you are, get to know how you mean when you're doing a scene. I can't tell you how many times in the final probably 10 seasons of Supernatural, it's like Sam and Dean show up to a person's house. Hey, we want to ask you about your deceased, this person or that person. It's like Sam does his empathetic puppy dog eyes. And I was like, oh, okay, we're here. But I think that's kind of who Jared is. I think it was Sam's version of comedy. Because Sam, I don't think, was a really funny guy. He had some really funny moments. I think Cordell Walker's version of comedy is very similar to Jared Padalecki's. And I just spoke in the third person. I think Sam's version of comedy was difficult for me to kind of find, and maybe that was correct because Sam, I don't think, thought of himself as a funny person. It was kind of more funny in the moment. And so I think that's probably it. Like I think I've said before, The French Mistake was the most nerve-wracking episode of Supernatural that I've ever done. The finale was obviously the most difficult episode, but the most nerve-wracking was like, okay, this is a funny episode. I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, Sam has to be funny? So that's my answer. I hope it lived up to Jensen's expectations. I just spit.
Jensen said it would be having a taller older brother.
Yeah, his older brother Josh. Oh yeah, and I guess for me it'd be having a shorter older brother because my brother's taller than I am. So, yeah, thank you so much. Oh, I'll do one more. I'm getting the guillotine, but of course.
First of all, I want to say that I love Walker and Dee. And my question is, what's your favorite thing about Sam's personality and Walker's personality?
Great question. Thank you. My favorite part about Sam's personality was his. This is an American and or English saying, but his long game mentality. You know, he kind of helped teach me patience. I'm not going to claim the most patient person on the planet. I think I'm all right. But he always wanted to do things right, to do things the correct way, and he was willing to put in the work before attempting so that he wouldn't mess up. My favorite part of Cordell's personality, Walker's personality, I like Cordell's sense of humor. It's very similar to Jared's. He's kind of a goofball. He doesn't take himself. Not that Sam took himself seriously, and that's not how I would word it. He was dealing with much more serious situations, but I love how Cordell doesn't seem to take himself seriously. So that's been fun. It's been a lesson in itself. Thank you. And thank you all. I guess I'm out. See y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna try and get another pretty snazzy jacket and rock Gucci the best. So love you all. Thank you so much.